Over the last few weeks, I've gone on a journey through the streets and alleyways of London to take a look at the different styles and design used in the construction of different landmark London buildings. I visited central London with nothing more than a camera crew and a guide to London pamphlet. This is my story. London as it exists today is like a phoenix, born from the ashes of the fire that raged through the city in 1666. The fire destroyed places like St Paul's Cathedral, Baynard's Castle and the Royal Exchange, before being halted by the efforts of the London Fire Service. These buildings were refurbished to create a safer, more fire-conscious London by architect Christopher Wren. He revolutionised London as we see it today, and his legacy lives on through the distances between buildings and the scarcity of narrow streets which contributed to the destruction. The monument to the Great Fire of London, more commonly known simply as the Monument, is a stone Roman Doric column in the City of London, near the northern end of London Bridge, which commemorates the Great Fire of London. It stands at the junction of Monument Street and Fish Street Hill, from the place where the Great Fire started on the 2nd of September 1666. Its height marks its distance from the site in Pudding Lane of the shop of Thomas Farnell, the King's Baker, where the Great Fire began. Another monument, the Golden Boy of Pyre Corner, marks the point near Smithfield where the fire stopped. St Paul's Cathedral, London, is a Church of England cathedral and seat of the Bishop of London. Its dedication to Paul the Apostle dates back to the original church on this site, founded in 604 AD. St Paul sits on top of the Ludgate Hill, the highest point of the City of London, and is the mother church of the Diocese of London. The present church, dating back from the late 17th century, was built to an English barrack designed by Sir Christopher Wren as part of a major rebuilding programme which took place in the city after the Great Fire of London and was completed within his lifetime. The cathedral is one of the most famous and most recognisable sights of London, with its dome framed by the spirals of the Wren City churches dominating the skyline for 300 years. St Paul's Cathedral occupies a significant place in the national identity of the English population. During the Georgian era, London increased in size greatly to take in previously separate villages such as Clapham. Hence, much of inner London is dominated by Georgian buildings. Georgian houses in London are quite distinctive and in general can be distinguished from those built later. While not characterised by any specific architectural design, London has accumulated its buildings over time rather than been built over one period of time. The building I visited first was the Shard, the latest addition to London's majestic skyline. At the heart of London, the Shard is 95 stories tall and was only recently opened to the public in February of 2013. Another instantly recognisable skyscraper in London is the Gherkin, a magnificent work of glass and steel. Standing at 591 feet, it is truly a masterpiece of architecture. It was extensively damaged in 1992 by the explosion of a bomb placed by the Provisional IRA, but was meticulously rebuilt. The Gherkin was built in the stead of the Millennium Tower, which was deemed too expensive under the economic climate of the time. After the plans to build the Millennium Tower were dropped, 30 St Mary Axe was designed by Norman Foster and Arup engineers, and was erected by Skanker in 2001 to 2003. The building has become an iconic symbol of London and is one of the city's most widely recognisable examples of modern architecture. The Lloyd's Building, also sometimes known as the Inside Out Building, is the home of the insurance institution Lloyd's of London and is located at 1 Lime Street in the City of London, England. It was designed by architect Richard Rogers and built between 1978 and 1986. The 12 glass lifts were the first of their kind in the UK. The architecture of London is both grand and varied. After completing a circuit of its buildings, I realise I have only scratched the surface of this noble city, and feel humbled knowing that what I have witnessed is only a fraction of the greater magnificence.